Well, good morning and welcome to Brekkie, the guy who sews. Today is Saturday, the 13th of January, and I'm very excited to have my very special guest, Fallon from Sew Be It Quilts, join me today. She's been on several times before, and she was very gracious and decided to come and join me yet again this morning. So, do you want to say hi to everyone, Fallon? Just let us know a little bit more about yourself, just in case someone hasn't seen the channel yet.
Hi everyone. So my name is Fallon. I have the channel Sew Be It Quilts, and I, like Sean, like to quilt and share techniques and patterns on my channel. So that's it in a nutshell.
Yeah, and I love Fallon's channel. She was actually one of the first channels that I saw on YouTube in the quilting world, and I've just loved it from day one. Like she introduced me to the Cotton Cuts Puzzle Mystery Quilt. I love her tutorials. And I also loved a lot of things, especially the like your reviews of different products, because I find that you don't love everything, which is great, but you explain why it doesn't work for you, but also who it may work for. You know, rather than just saying, "Hey, this product is it's crap" or "it's not for me," you go out and you go the extra step and say, "But hey, if you are X or Y, this may work for you." And for me as a consumer, I found that very, very helpful. So, um, but that's Fallon. If you haven't checked out her channel link, definitely hit exclamation point Fallon, or you can also use exclamation point guest. Each week I update the Nightbot, so that way whoever my guest is, you can always just put in exclamation guest. If you're watching the replay and this is your first time, please say hi in the comments as well. We always love to see who's watching it. If you've seen it before and you're watching a replay, also do that as well. I always love seeing who is here with us. But let's see who is here with us in the live chat. And if uh,
Words are
my
hard this early.
yes, it's hard this early. And as many of you know, I've been battling some sort of virus that, what we call the crud the last week, and I'm getting better, thankfully. But apparently my voice has decided to disappear this morning about 20 minutes before the live as well. But let's see who is here with us this morning. My friend Stephen Bland from Bland Designs and Idiot Quilter is here. If you haven't seen his channel, it's exclamation point Stephen, and it's with a V. Because it's like 5 different ways to spell that name. Dragonflies for Donna is here with us. Ginny Vincent is here from us with us from Oregon. Well, good morning, and very bright and early morning for you. Jeannie E is here with us. Fallon Donnell Stitchery, exclamation point Donnell for her. And let's see, Teresa West is good, says good morning. Everyone's asking how I'm feeling. I am feeling better each day. I'm actually sleeping through the night pretty much now, which is a huge step in the right direction. Russ from Quilt Meets World is here with us as well, and he's a good buddy of mine. He's been on a couple of times before. Exclamation point Russ. So with Debbie is here with us, and I think we have her under Deb. And she's out in the West Coast as well. I just love seeing all the West Coasters. It just amazes me. Like, I don't know that I could function well enough at 5 a.m. to get up and actually watch, even from my bed at that point. My friend Donna from Handmade by Ying with Donna is here as well, and her channel link is with just Donna. Debbie Dunn is here with us. Pat Strawhouse, Teresa West. I think I said Joyce is here with us as well. Becca is here as well, and she's been a great influence on me. Exclamation point Becca. And let's see, did I miss anyone? Joyty is here with us. Renee Cook, Barb McKinley. Wow, all these West Coasters, like it amazes me. All that as well. So Nellie Franco, Laurie Hogan, Christine, she's my influencer. She's the reason I got into Art East Quilting Coast. So if you've enjoyed seeing those projects, Christine's the reason behind that. So let's see, Katie Crafts, Ange Sews is here with us as well. And I think I'll get everybody, but if I miss someone, Melissa Feldhouse, and good evening to Jan Johnson from Western Australia. If I miss someone, I apologize. Sometimes the chat moves a little too quickly for me. But let's go ahead and, no, we do not want to present an ad, Mr. YouTube. Let's talk about what we're going to work on today. Fallon, do you want to show us what you are planning on working on today?
So I'm still trying to work on some of my unfinished projects. So I have a quilt coming together with all red and creams that I started working on, I think 2 years ago. So it's kind of an Ohio star with a little accent square in it, or it is an Ohio star block, but it has like the little accent squares in it. So it kind of creates a second square through here. And I don't know why I quit working on it, but you know. I was 16 blocks in and then stopped. I'm gonna
I
get
don't know
it
about
fixed later.
I don't know about you, but for me, like I get into a project and then something new and shiny goes along. I don't know which movie it is. Is it Ice Age, where the little squirrel thing happens? They say squirrel and he gets distracted. That is me in a nutshell. Like I start something and then something new and shiny comes along and then I forget about that. I have several projects in that wheelhouse right now, like my poor nephew's trash truck block quilt that's kind of been forgotten about. I found this actually one of your patterns, the snowball quilt that I
Oh,
started for someone 2 years ago, and I was like, oh, whoops, I haven't worked on that in like 18 months. So it's actually on my schedule to assemble more of that on a live very, very soon. So let's
it's like I
see.
think it's this because on this one it's the same block over and over. It's really pretty block, but you're kind of like, well, I've done this a million times now. Like you want to try something else.
Yeah, and see, I think that's one of the reasons I really enjoy like the Elizabeth Hartman and the Art East projects because
So
they are
different.
they're all different blocks.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I get bored very, very easily. So that might have a lot of influence as well. So Ange says, I forgot her. I thought I said Ange, but good morning, Ange, or good afternoon, Ange, because she's over in the UK, so it's afternoon for her as well. Kay from Purple Wall says, I love the trash trucks. Yeah, we're going to have the trash trucks blocks back very, very soon. What I'm going to try and do this year, just to keep myself more organized, is I'm actually going to try and schedule what I'm going to work on each week. I'm kind of stealing that idea from Becca. Thank you very much, Becca, for that idea.
So yeah,
Um,
if anybody else needs to get organized, she has some great PDFs that she just put out to do
oh,
that.
absolutely. Um, Kathy from My Hobby Homes is here with us. Chloe Morgan is as well, and Brian Springer. Good morning. Everyone's saying I'm glad they're on the mend. Absolutely. Okay, so what am I working on besides getting distracted, which is an everyday thing for me? I've been working on the So Place Like Home, which is an out no, take auto repeat off, Sean, and start again. The So Place Like Home, which is the Wizard of Oz inspired so long from Art East Quilting Co. It was the one they did last year. They finished up in May. I still have to do the Wing Monkey, which I will cut out one of these days. And then they also have some mini blocks that go around the edge. So what I plan to work on today, and I probably won't get very far, is these little poppies. And they're using Kona solids and then also the Kona sheen around the edge. And so I've made 3 of these already in previous days, and I have to make 5 more. So we'll see. I'm going to try and chain piece this. We'll see how things go. And then I also brought along some of the other ones I've made in the past. These are the emeralds. These are all done. And I thought these turned out really, really nicely. And also the rainbows.
No, those are so cute.
Yeah, I thought these turned out really, really nicely. Um, I wanted to put all 7 colors in it, but I figured that was just going to be an absolute mess. So I decided not to. And if by some miracle I get all these poppies done, which, haha, that's not going to happen. I also am going to try and make some of these. I made this one as a test, but I'm actually going to change some of the colors because I think the roof is just a little too dark. I like the idea of the sheen, but it's too dark for me. So we'll change that up, but we'll see how far we get. So. All right, Brenda says she loves you. So, oh, that's Becca. Okay, everyone loves Becca. Um, so thought it was So Be It Quilts. I got confused. Okay, let's see. Jan says it hasn't gone. Jan says hasn't got any sewing done the last couple of days. Been too hot, 37 degrees Celsius. That's about 99. It's the middle of summer down in Western Australia where she is, while we're all sitting here freezing to death. Although it's been pretty warm here. It's been in the 50s, 60s, or for Jan, 12 to 15 degrees Celsius. So it's been really, really nice as well. Nikki B says good morning from Missouri. Um, Leanna from Pastry Queen's Farm Adventure says, good morning, Fallon, Sean, and everyone out there. I hope everyone had a great week. And she has her own channel as well. And it's I think I put it under pastry. Rather than trying to have people try and spell Leanna, because there's different ways of doing that as well. Good morning, Gloria Carlson. She says, good morning from King William, Virginia. She's a good friend of mine. I actually went to visit her and her quilt guild a couple of months ago as well, which was really neat. So, sorry?
That's fun. That's fun to be able to do that.
Yeah. She sent me we met up at the Mid Atlantic Quilt Show last year, And you know, we emailed back and forth here and there, and she sent me an email and invited me to one of her guild retreats. And I was like, that sounds like a lot of fun. And I've never been to a retreat before. So it was a really good, fun way to give that a go. So I did that, and I would like to do it again in the future because I do it like once a month as well. So
Well, that's fun.
it's like 90 minutes from home, so it's not too bad. Um, Chloe says in Rhode Island it's another rainstorm of when we have no power. I hope you get your power back on soon because cold storms with no power is not my idea of fun.
No, it seems like a lot of different areas are going through that with these storms coming through.
Yeah, that storm that came through on, was it Tuesday or Wednesday, whichever day it was. Um, that one was intense because it went all the way from Florida down at the Keys all the way up to Nova Scotia in Canada. Like I was watching that because I got a message at work that said, "Hey, yeah, the port's gonna be closed tomorrow." And I'm like, "What? That's like all the way up there." So up there by where our mum and pop quilt shop live. I was like, that's nuts. Okay, so that's one, two. I'm gonna mess this up. I can just tell already. That's left. That's right. So when you come to the guy who sews live, you get the real Sean. This is not rehearsed. This is not anything like that. So you're gonna watch me double guess myself a lot. Okay, so we've got that.
Now, if you
Got
do
these.
recorded videos, though, don't you leave in when you mess up too? I know a lot of the times I do, just so people can.
I do. Yeah, and I think that's a I don't believe everything I mess up, but if I have to pull out
Yeah,
my very, very best friend, I am not afraid to say, "Hey, look, I've goofed up, and you know, I haven't plugged my iron in yet, so hang on."
I think it's helpful though, because especially if it's a tough pattern, so people know what to look out for in it if they're going to do it. Like,
For
say if this
sure,
one
and
flipped, it's really easy to flip here or something like that.
yeah, I mean, like the puzzle mystery quilt. I mean, those things are fairly easy. They're very beginner friendly,
But
for
it's
instance.
so
But
easy to mix up those pieces.
I mess something up every clue. I have to pull out my very, very bestest friend. And I'm not afraid to admit it. And I think it's important for us as content creators to say, hey, we are not perfect, because sometimes people see these perfect productions and then they get discouraged because, hey, how can they do it, but we can't? So, um, I think it's a good thing here. Nikki B says it's a whopping 9 degrees here. Tomorrow's high is 2. That sounds cold in Celsius, but I know she's talking in Fahrenheit, so it's a whole lot colder. Donnell says she doesn't edit her videos, just I have not had the chance to learn that. Kind of like in the unedited, it's very real life. Absolutely, yeah. I mean, if you like editing the videos, edit. If you don't, don't. I mean, people will watch both. So, um, Jan's asking you, Fallon, are you catching up on your UFOs?
Yes. So I have 2 quilts finished so far this month. I have 3 that just need binding, and I have the binding ready for them. Um, I have one that I have set out to baste and get ready to quilt, and then I have this one I'm working on. So I don't know if I'll get this one done, but hopefully I should have 6 that I finished.
Oh,
And then
wow.
the Linus project for Houston, she actually reached out to me. I didn't even get a chance to reach out to anybody, but she reached out to me. Um, and so I'm going to try to get with her to get some of the quilts that I finished that I would like to donate to them. And then some of the tops that I'm not going to have time to finish. She said that they would have somebody finish those up. So hopefully this month I can get a good chunk of them done or a good chunk of them sent out for donation.
Absolutely. Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun. And I haven't had a chance to watch that video of yours yet, but I want to.
It's
Um,
shameful, Sean. You don't need to let how many
oh,
quilts
there's And again, I'm going to get on my soapbox here for a minute because, everyone's here and it gives me something to talk about. I think we often put a lot too much pressure on ourselves to finish stuff, or we get upset with ourselves when we have too many projects. This is our craft time. This is our fun time, especially for those that don't, have to produce videos and that sort of thing. There, do what makes you happy. If that means that you start 75 projects and it takes you 20 years to finish them all, that's fine. Don't worry about it. Just have fun with it. If you have fun with what you make, you got to get it done more often. Yeah. If you sit there and stress about what you got to make or finishing this or doing that, then it's just going to make you sad. Like if you have something that you hate, rip it apart, donate it, get rid of it. That's fine, but do what makes you happy. I think that's how we get burnout. That's how we lose our sojo if you're not careful, is if you don't do what you love. And I could be wrong, but that's my viewpoint. I have several projects in the works, and I know I have a lot, and I have a plan to work through them. But if I don't get it done in a time frame, it's fine. I mean, I have a Google Calendar that I keep everything on, and I have a timeline for my finishing quilting some stuff. And although I'm already 2 weeks in, I'm behind. That's fine. I'm just going to shift the everything down a week or two and see how it goes. Like get it done when it gets done. I'm really fine with that.
Yeah,
So
no, I agree. I said in the video, I was like, at first when I was counting, because I had no idea how many I had. They just get put into a cabinet when I'm like done with the top, and I'm like, I'll quilt it later. But I said I had no idea how many it was, but at first I was embarrassed, and I'm like, no, I'm not embarrassed. I have so much fun making every single one of these.
yeah,
It's part of the time where I get to unwind and relax, and and the thing is for me, the quilting part, that's the most stressful part because that's the hardest for me to make it right. And so I kind of just put that off. But
I do
that's,
too.
yeah, it's one of my goals to work on this year. And the only way I can get better is if I actually pull them out and work on it. So, uh,
Yeah. Yeah, I much prefer the piece, but I can't afford to send everything out to my
no.
long arm friends either. Like they do a wonderful job, and I think that a wonderful service, but I just don't have the money to be able to send stuff out all the time. And I like being able to say, "Hey, I did this from start to finish too." It's kind of like a pride thing, I guess. So
Yeah, I choose a few each year that I am really proud of the way it turned out, the really proud of the way the piecing turned out. And I get those long arms because I know that they can really make the whole thing shine. And I don't want to say the ones that I don't send out aren't good or aren't, that I'm not happy with them either. But I feel like where my skill set is will work out fine on that quilt. Um, so I try to choose some, but I
right.
can't.
Yeah, that makes sense. So Pat says, I agree, Sean. I slowed down and enjoying the process more. Yeah, I mean that's me. That's me off my soapbox. But I just thought that was an important message for me to get out there. Um, so Debbie says I have a drawer of orphan blocks. That is my weakness. They just sit. Now I actually have a solution for you on that one there if you want. I believe my friend Crystal from Crystal Heart channel, she does a project where if you have orphan blocks, you can send it to her and she makes them into a charity quilt. So if you I think she's still doing that. So it might be something you to reach out to, and I can send you her information if you need it. Actually, um, let me throw her channel link in real quick, Debbie. But yeah, if you have some orphan blocks, as I said, yeah, there you go. She was doing the as far as I know, she's still doing that project. So
That's such a good idea. I get some of
yeah, I
those
thought,
for just, testing a block or something like that.
yeah, thought that was really fun. Kathy at My Hobby Home says, I have an Android and there's an app for YouTube. It makes it really easy to edit. I do all my recording editing on my phone. I do too. And if you are interested in that, reach out. I'll tell you what I use. It's an editing program. It's they have a really good trial, a free version that you can use. And then the full version's like 14 US dollars. So which I thought was really, really good value. And
Yeah,
that's
that's a
like
good.
a one and that's a one-time thing. It's not per month. as well, which I know people have asked in the past, and that's what I use for all my videos. Except for the lives, I use Zoom for that. But all my pre-recorded, I use just one program on the phone. So like you don't need to have all the all the fancy equipment. It's great if you can. I know you have all the cool cameras and all that sort of stuff there.
Yeah,
But
but
you
I didn't start that way either. I started
yeah,
with my phone and I would edit on there and everything. And then, as the channel grew, I was like, oh, well, this really, I can start upgrading here and there. And
yeah,
it wasn't all at once either. You just add something in when you can and the
yeah,
light or, you know, just
yeah.
little.
I think the lighting and that's more important than all the cameras and stuff because I mean I have no intention, and 2 years from now it might be different, but right now I have no intention of really upgrading because I like the thing about the phone too for me is I can it's all there in one place. I can go out and record on it wherever I am, and then I record, I can upload. I mean, I can edit while I'm waiting for my wife's hair to get cut and I'm waiting for my hair
Yeah.
appointment, or I'm at the doctor's office or something like that. I can sit there and edit wherever I am. I don't have to wait till I get back home into my at my computer studio or anything else like that. So um, there's a lot of advantages of doing it on the phone, to be honest. Virginia Harrison is asking, what is the name of the program? It is a video maker, I think it's called. Shoot me an email at the guy who sews at gmail.com. I will look it up and send you a link if that would help. Joyce is saying, I hope you still have a voice at the end of the show. Me too, because I have another recording to do for a collab that I'm doing with Stephen, Stephanie, and Shannon at 10 o'clock. So I'm going to need to have something. Otherwise, this is going to be a very, very rough day. But, we will make it what? Oh, okay, perfect. I thought I had another thing to do. Okay,
You'll need to
excellent.
have a nice soothing tea after.
I will. I'm sipping my coffee right now, but yeah, the tea is a good idea. But the nice thing is, like physically, like I'm a little tired, but I'm actually able to function and I'm actually able to sew, which I couldn't say I could do earlier in the week. So I am taking this um happily, and that's a good thing. So actually, let's put those away for right this minute.
Is it another
And
live you're doing later or is it pre-recorded?
this is going to be a pre-record. We're basically, I mean, I have no problem telling everybody. We are recording our final thing for the what we call the 4S collab, which was where we put out 3 patterns each. Everyone voted on them, and then we made those patterns. And that was the Fab Farm for me, which was the pattern by Elizabeth Hartman, where I had all the cute little animals, the pig, the chicken, the horse, and all that sort of stuff there, and we got to show off our completed quilts. So we're going to record that this morning, and then we'll release those videos on each of our channels at 10 a.m. Eastern on Monday morning. So keep an eye out for that. My Fab Farm is done. I finished binding it last night about 9:30. So yeah, kept it to the wire. Pat's asking, is the collab on Steven's channel? We're actually going to release it on all 4 channels. So you can watch it on Steven's, mine, Stephanie, or Shannon's. I'd like it if you come over and visit mine, but if you want to watch it on Steven's, that's fine too. So
That
there
was
you
such
go.
a fun idea y'all had. I really liked it, seeing like being able to vote on the patterns and all that.
Yeah, it was really fun. Like we came together with the idea, and we thought it'd be fun to have some interactive part of it, because
Yeah.
these were all patterns that we wanted to do, but sometimes you see this all these cute and shiny things and you can't do them all at once.
Yeah, and
And
it's hard
so
to decide. So have somebody else decide for you.
well, that way too, it keeps the audience entertained because they actually have a nice, it's always good when you can let them have a say in what to do because they're the ones watching as well. And so, give the viewer what they want, like let them have a say, let them have some fun with it as well. And it was a great collab. And I plan on doing, I would like to do it again this year, like back in the fall. So, if you enjoyed that and you want to see it again, I do plan on doing that again
Yeah,
in
that's
the
good. I
fall.
thought it was really fun.
Yeah. So, okay. Good morning, Debbie from In Quilt Fact here. Woke up late. Let me get my coffee. She has her own channel as well. And yeah, I've put it down as In Quilt because I already have a Debbie. Um, There we go. It did work. Okay, perfect. Rob from Quilting in the Man Cave is asking what model number is my brother. It is, I don't know. Oh, there it is right there. XL 2600i. It's about 10 years old. I think my wife paid about 80 bucks for it on Amazon. So it's been a great little machine. I love it. It's the only one I use for piecing. I have a Benina that I use for quilting, but I use this for all my piecing. So there we go. Be right back. Okay. Let's see, back up. Okay. How's the doggy doing? I'm not sure whose dog they're asking about. They're asking about my dog. My dog's doing just fine. They're both here next to me, sleeping away. So they're quite content. All right, let's see. She may be asking that to somebody else too, so do tend to miss stuff.
Yeah, it's hard sometimes because you think it might be a question for you, but then there's little side chats going on in the
I
chat.
know, yeah. I know, like you don't realize how many I think she's talking to Donnell. Okay. Yeah, Donnell's dog is older. I remember her talking about that. Like she has to get up at like 6:30 each morning and let the doggy outside because she's, a senior, and that sort of thing there. So I guess that's what it is. But yeah, like a life is so many moving pieces. Like you have um you're trying to sew, you're talking to your guest, you're making sure you're somewhat entertaining to the viewer, and then you're also trying to watch the chat. And men are only supposed to be able to do one thing at once, so me be able to do all that stuff, halfway decently. I'm taking that as a win. So,
Maybe why you got wore out and got sick.
well, I don't know how to slow down. Like, people tell you, hey, you gotta take a break and rest and that sort of thing there. And I just don't know how to do that. Especially with two teenage boys, with their
Activities and
activities like, and then Amanda's sick, I think we think she has the flu now. So, she's been balled up. So yesterday, I had to drop the one boy off to school because one goes to the public school next, it's like 200 feet from the house. And then the other one goes to the private school where my wife teaches. So I had to take him down there. I ended up visiting that school 4 times yesterday.
oh
Then
wow.
I had to go pick him up, and then I take Simon to tennis, and then apparently there was no one, tennis was canceled. And then I had to take Lorenzo back to the school. Um, then I had to go and, do some shopping, grab dinner, take it back, then go back and get Lorenzo. Yeah, I was all over the place yesterday.
You're
So
gonna, you're gonna make everyone tired just talking about
I
everything.
know you get tired just listening to it.
They're
So
like the day just started and I'm wore out now.
yeah. Brenda says there, and I agree with her on this one. She says that your room looks empty without Matt.
Oh yeah. I told him he could come up, but he's got a lot to do this morning.
Yeah, I told Fallon yesterday, I said, hey, if Matt wants to come on and hang out with us, he's more than welcome. But I figured too, he may have a lot going on too, because you guys are busy. So um, there you go. All right. Donnell's doggy, I'm glad your doggy's doing great. Thank you. Janice is here. Good morning. It's good to see you. She's asking how I'm feeling. I'm actually feeling well, although my voice has decided it wants to take a vacation. So, we'll just make it work, right? Okay. Okay. Donnell's 14-year-old Yorkie's been having spots of blood and urine lately. Has an appointment this morning to find out it's an infection or it's a kidneys or something. Well, I just pray that it's good news for you. Um, it's always sad when our doggos are sick.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean, we went through that last year with Little Bandit. Yeah, he was like 11 or 12, and he was doing just great. And then one day he woke up and he was gasping for air, and we took him to the vet and we found out it was heart failure. So that was
Oh,
pretty, yeah. And they said, we can hospitalize him for a couple of days and you might get 6 months or 12 months out of it. And, be like three or $4,000. And I was like, I can't put him through all that, you
yeah.
know, it's just his time. So, um, yeah, we had to make that hard decision, but I think we made the right one. Anyway, we remember the happy times with him, and I said he lived a good life up until the very, very end. So, we can't complain about that. But yeah, we're here to talk about quilting and the positive and happy stuff. Um, and that my voice will return at some point. So I think I put Kathy's link in there before, but and if you have a channel in the chat and I have not put it um in already, let me know. And I'll be happy to put it in for you as well. So because I do get distracted, I miss stuff. I am not perfect. If you're looking for a perfect channel, I'm sorry you have not reached the right place. Fallon was a better chance of being perfect than I am. So go visit us. But even so, if you haven't checked out Fallon's channel, you really do need to do so. I'm a big fan of Fallon's. If you haven't already figured that out, and she does a lot of great videos. It's always good to see my notifications when you've put out something fun. I don't always get a chance to watch everything, but it's always
Well,
it's always entertaining.
thank you. A little shameless plug too is I noticed this morning my channel is really close to 30,000 subscribers. So if you aren't subscribed, I'd be very, very grateful.
Yes, please do. I mean, those milestones are huge to us. Like I know when I hit 100, I was ecstatic. Or two, five
Oh yeah,
thousand, 2,000, 2,500. My next one will be 3,000. It's we're a little ways off, but and we'll get there when we get there, and
yeah.
maybe we won't, and that's okay. Like my thing, at the end of the day, as long as the viewer enjoys the content, that's all I really care about. But hitting those milestones is such a big thing for us because when we all start off, we never have these
No. My
expectations or
my goal is like hopefully somebody will watch these.
exactly like I never thought I'd get 100 subscribers. I honestly believed that when I started. I was just like, let's just have um you know hang on. But
Ran out of bobbin thread.
I've refilled mine before I started. So
I filled some up just because I knew it was getting low, but I I didn't put one in.
yeah, I don't want to run out. Like it doesn't take me long to um refill it, but I always like to start off fresh so that way I'm good to go.
Yeah,
Because
it's just
people
one
have,
other thing you'd have to keep track of is because you could be sewing and sewing on here live and not even realize you're not sewing at the
well,
bottom.
see, that's the nice thing about this bobbin machine as well, is it has it's a drop-in bobbin.
Oh, so
So
you'll see it.
I can see it, but on the Benina, it's not. And so it's like a guessing game, like you on your live the other
Yeah.
night where you were trying to guess.
Yeah,
All
it's
right, so
it's inconvenient that you have to take it out to see if it's still has any thread in it or not.
yeah, and some of the fancy machines have like an estimator on it as well, but I don't know how accurate those things are. All right, so Kay says she has a channel. I put her link in as well, and I've put it into the Nightbot as well as Kay. So that way, I'm trying to put everybody's in. Like if I miss one, I can put it in as well there as well. So, all right. The burning a candle on both ends, wishing you on the speed. And, oh yeah, I just don't know how to slow down. Um, it's just how I am. So, all right, let's see. What am I doing? Three. Oh, okay. Doing all right. I haven't messed up yet. I keep thinking I'm going to have to pull out my very, very bestest friend. Um, so far we're doing all right. Easy. One, two, three. Oh, gee.
So you got the kit with the Easy Press pen and everything for one of your latest projects, right?
Talk about the
The one of your, I think, quilts that you did, you got the
yes.
pen and all that. Did you
Yeah,
ever end up using it yet?
no. I keep forgetting. It's up there somewhere. I'll have to grab it soon and actually use it.
That'll have to be one of your goals this year to use it.
I know, and I already I get started on something and then I'm
Yeah,
like,
you
oh,
get
what's
a group of what you always have done and don't think about
yeah.
trying the new. And if it's working out without it, it might be a good thing because then you don't have to buy all the refills.
Yeah, but then this might be one of those things too where you don't know like how you lived without it. Like your the clapper is something like I did fine without it for all those years, but now that I have my clapper, I can't live without it. Like I use this thing all the time, and it was very sweet. I don't think she's here with us this morning, but my friend Gina heard I needed a second clapper, so she actually went out and bought me one
Oh, that's
and
so
mailed it to
nice.
me this week. So because when I'm doing all these small projects.
Yeah.
Sometimes one clapper isn't enough, and I kept meaning to go buy a second clapper and buy a second clapper. And I guess she heard me say it enough times on a live that she just went out and got one. So I thought it was very, very sweet of her to do that. So there you go. But yeah, let's head back to the whole goals thing. I think it's amazing that you're so close to 30. Like I've watched your numbers just explode over the last year, you and Chris over at Soda Distance. And then our friend Becca, who I'm sure is probably watching in the background. Because I don't know how she keeps all her stuff together, like doing the videos, the lives, working a full-time job, being a mother.
And then
Um,
putting those like the PDF together and all that. I mean, that was so detailed.
yeah, she just hit 25,000 yesterday. So that's been amazing. I mean, she was at 20 like 3 or 4 months ago. Like, yeah, she's growing, so it's great to see all these people like do so well. But it's not easy like it's a lot of work. So um if you come into this thinking it's gonna be instant success, I'm sorry, but I've got some bad news for you. You might be instantly successful. Um, but
Yeah.
that's either if you're watching the algorithm really, really closely and know all that stuff, or you hit a viral video. Um,
Yeah, that's what happened for me was I just had a really good video idea and that brought a lot of new traffic to my channel.
yeah,
So that's what did it for me. And it really depends on what you're looking for with starting a channel too, is it's fine if you want to have a channel where you just get on and you sew what you want to sew and you share what you want to share. But like if you really want to grow, then you have to do all that research to see what is trending and all that. And not everyone wants to do that, and that's fine. It just depends on what you're looking for.
yeah. And I feel I'm in the former. Like I like I pick the projects that I want to do,
Right.
and I just bring you along for the journey, and that's fine for me. Like I know I'm not going to grow as quick as someone. That's okay. I mean, then again, I have a full-time job. I have two boys to, truck around. Like I really understood yesterday, the whole mom taxi thing. Like, good gravy, because I had to drop one boy off at tennis at 5, and then the other boy off at 5:30, and those places are about 25 minutes apart. And I still had to, um, feed one of the boys before I dropped them off at the school. So yeah, it was a logistical challenge. Like,
Yeah, I will say since a lot of people in here had said that they have channels that they started too, is if you're not on Becca's channel, you should join it, but also join her group on Facebook because she mentioned in there that she has been toying with the idea of doing like a a YouTube class for people who are interested, and that might be very
Yes,
helpful for people starting out.
absolutely. Yeah, because like you can sit there and learn it by yourself, which is kind of what I did. Um, but yeah, I mean, the experience and the tips and tricks that she'd be able to do, yeah, give you would be immensely helpful as well. I mean, I'm always happy to help out wherever I can, but yeah, she's been doing a lot longer than I have and knows more tricks and tips than I do. So
Yeah, if anybody wants to ask me questions, I am totally fine with answering. But I will say is Becca is very organized and a very good teacher.
oh,
So
she for sure, absolutely, yeah, no question about that. So all right, Leanna says Gina gave me a clapper. She sent me one this week too for my birthday. Mine is engraved.
oh,
Engraved. Gina gave me the clap. I love her sense of humor. Yeah, she sent me a message last night when I told her I received it, and she told me she sent it out to some other people as well. And she figured that my poor dear life wouldn't, or may not appreciate that says something that says that like Gina gave me the clap. So I was like, yeah, thank you for that. So, um,
that
yeah.
is funny though.
Yeah, I think it's funny, but I think it was really nice of her to consider that,
Yeah.
So considering I'm a man and all that sort of stuff there. So I was kind of hoping she'd um put she'd pop into the chat because she does from time to time. Pastry Queen, what's your first name again? I suck at remembering name. I'm terrible with names, but it is Leanna. Um yeah, I'm terrible with names. I'm trying to remember names. I'm doing much better with that. Um, but yeah, I just, and I've said this before, like, I think we should just own it. Like, just tell people, hey, I suck at remembering names. Like, where do I know you from again? What's your name? I'm sorry, I forgot. And most people will be like, oh, yeah, I'm terrible with that too. Don't be
Yeah.
embarrassed. So there we go. All right. Kay says, I hope Amanda feels better soon. I got sick right before Christmas break, and that was a nightmare. Yeah, she tends to do that too. I think that's what teachers do. Like they burn the candle at both ends up until break, and then they finally have a chance to rest, and then they get sick. So, right, so we are making some progress on our puppies, which is really, really nice. Okay. Steven says, did you know that some people buy subscribers? I just found this out for a price. You can buy fake subscribers to boost your number. I think that is disgusting.
I did not know that, but I knew there were like like pages or something on Facebook where you could go and like you say, this is my channel, follow me on there and I'll follow you back. And I'm like, what is the point of that? If they're not interested in watching your stuff, I don't know why you'd
Well,
want them on your channel.
I think it gets you short-term gains, but I think, and I could be wrong on this, but I think if they don't watch your channel for a while, like you may still show as subscribed on your side, but as the content creator, I think those people drop off. So
Yeah.
you might get a short-term gain in subscriber numbers, but after a while they're going to drop off. Again, if you're at 900 and you want to get to the thousand so you can get
Yeah.
monetized, then yeah, maybe. But yeah, again, like I'm with Steve, and I don't agree. You do you. Like if that's how you have to get through life, um, you know, or to achieve your goals, then so be it. But I'd rather my subscribers come because they want to come and they want to watch the videos.
Right.
And so if my numbers don't jump that much, then they don't jump that much. Again, my goal is for everyone to enjoy it. And people show up here every Saturday morning. So obviously I'm doing something right.
I
So
think, I care about the video, the comments on the video I put out and things like that a little bit more than I do what my subscribers are as. But I know when I first started, that's what I cared about a lot is the subscribers. Like that was really exciting, but now it's kind of switched to, if people feel inclined to comment on my video and let me know
yeah,
that they really like that, that's what makes me really happy.
for sure. I'm the same way. Like, I tell people all the time, and I am so far behind on my comments, like answering them.
Yeah.
I feel terrible, but I am reading them. Yeah, I read them as they come in, and then I want to take the time to respond properly. Not, yeah, if people take the time to send a message to me, it may take me a bit, but I want to take the time to, reply back to them because to me that's important. Um, sorry, I'm just getting distracted. Okay.
I
Yeah,
agree with Steven though. He said he's too cheap to buy subscribers and yes, I would rather if I had extra money pay to get a quilt long armed or buy some fabric or something. It ain't going to that.
yeah. I mean, I've had people reach out before and say, "Hey, do you want to do the sub thing?" Kind of like what you're talking about, where But it's like, yeah, I don't really see the sense in that. So, but at the end of the day, you do. Um, if that's how you want to do it, I'm not here to judge you. It's just not something I intend on doing, because I want the people that are subscribed to come and watch the videos. Like if I'm
Yeah.
not your cup of tea, um, I hope you find what you're looking for. And I honestly believe that and honestly mean that when I say that. Yeah, I would love to have like my ultimate goal one day, I'd love to get that 100,000 subscriber plaque that YouTube hands out.
Yeah.
That would be a lot of fun. Will I get there? Don't know. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. If I do, that'll be really, really fun. And if I don't, it just wasn't meant to be. But I'm not going to sit there and buy, 97,500 subscribers just to get a plaque. Um, and I really do think YouTube will correct. They find these accounts after a while, and then one day you got to wake up and you got to
I
find,
think so too. Yeah.
you know, one day you got to wake up and find, oh, geez, I've lost 7,000 subscribers overnight. What did I do wrong? Well, you bought them, and they got discovered. So, yeah, it's short-term gains probably, but yeah, it's not. To me, it's not a smart strategy long term. Okay. Let's see. Jean says, I'm mindful of all the sacrifices you make for these exchange students. Well, thank you so much. We love having them here. We really do. We do it because we love it. We were never able to have our own children. And so this is a way for us to, you know, help out. And then for me too, and I don't know if I've said this before in the public forum, but I've been blessed to be able to have the chance to, move to a new country, experience a new culture. And I just am happy to be able to, fulfill the dreams of these kids that want to come over and experience the American lifestyle for 10 months. So,
I think that's just wonderful. I think it's amazing that you both do that.
yeah, and we're actually getting ready very soon. I think they'll start sending us next year's kids for us to look through. So, because we get the applications and we look through and we try and pick, we get to choose the child, which is nice. Um, that way you kind of get one that you think will be a good fit for your family. So,
Right.
which is really neat because not every child's going to be a good fit for you. So I think it's nice that they give you the opportunity to um, select a child. And yeah, this year we end up getting two. So, all right. My grad is a hobby. I'm having fun. It's all that matters. I don't do it for money or popularity. Um, I'm the same way. If this ever stops being fun, I've said this before and I'll say it again. I will come on one last time and say thank you all. This has been a great ride, but it's time to go. Um, totally agree with that. So, all right, let's see. Leanna's husband keeps on me to understand the YouTube analytics and only make content that will draw people. After him nudging me, I finally said this is supposed to be a fun adventure and not a stressful one. I think it's good to have good content. Like I think it's good to focus on having good content, but do what makes you happy. Like if your ultimate goal is to make a business, then yes, you really need to focus on all that stuff. But if you're just here for the fun of it, like most of us, yeah, that's a whole thing. And if you want to talk about that with me privately, I'm more than happy to. as well. So let's see. Select child is like those old books where you get to select your adventure. Oh well, yeah, the choose your own adventure books. I remember those fondly as a kid. So all right. Let's see. I started my channel to connect with like-minded quilters. Page that's from Leanna. I'm the same way. Okay. Joyce brings in a good question here. Does anyone know when we'll receive a Tree of Life puzzle mystery quilt? They will ship out Friday, February 2nd.
I'm really looking forward to seeing that one get done.
Yeah, me too. The only reason I remember that so vividly is that's my birthday.
Oh,
So
happy birthday
I
when
thought it was
that comes
very
around.
I thought it was very kind of Cotton Cuts to say, hey, yeah, let's launch this on Sean's book. They didn't really. I mean, they launched the spring one on the first Friday of each month, and they start in February. So it just happened to be my birthday this year. Just actually, it's a couple of days. No, I always remember Becca's birthday because hers is like 2 days after mine. So it makes it a whole lot easier for me. So, but yeah, this is a much better gift than the New South Wales Department of Education growing up in school, because sometimes the first day of school for the year was my birthday as well, because that's still, I know it's like, thank you so much. Like, what a wonderful gift that the Department of Education gifted me is starting the school year on your own birthday as well. Um,
So
my best friend, sorry, go ahead.
no, you go ahead.
I was just reading one of the comments here from Melissa. She said, my best friend in grade 11 was an exchange student from Sydney. That is really, really neat. So Sydney's a beautiful city. I couldn't live there because it's just way too busy for me. Um,
You had
beautiful.
mentioned when we were planning the live that you like when me and my husband on our channel do the questions
Yes.
where we line up questions. And
Yes.
so I had one, and I'm dying to know before this we get ready to leave in what do you usually do, 30 minutes or so?
Yeah.
Uh, if you have any useless facts, just random facts that you hold on to for whatever reason, because mine is, and I always thought it was interesting, and I'm sure everybody always knows, it already knows, is that you can't tickle yourself. And I just think
Yeah.
that's so funny.
That is really, really neat. Um, I have so many useless information,
I
useless
know.
facts. I mean, I'm called Mr. Google by many, many people for so many different reasons. But before we get to that, I just want to put here as well. It looks like so with Debbie, her name is Deb, is February 3rd, her birthday. Becca is the 4th. And then Nikki B,
Oh,
who's in the
wow.
chat as well, is the 5th. So we have the
Oh,
2nd, the 3rd,
wow.
the 4th, the 5th. Do we have the 1st or the 6th? Let me know in the comments, or if you're watching later or in the chat as well. That's really neat. Um,
Now my daughter can
Chris.
close out January because she's January 30th.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
so we can extend that into February.
Yeah, that works. Chloe said that's how her birthday is here in the US, early September. Birthday. Yeah, so I figured that as well. So,
That's cool.
all right. Well, welcome to the. I did start a membership recently. I have not advertised it. But thank you so much, Gene, for hanging out. I called it Friends of Jack. I
Oh,
thought that'd
that's
be a fun way. So there we go. All right.
I
Blaine
have
Steven
thought
says you'll
about
be
doing that, starting a membership, but I just haven't put it together. Um,
yeah. No, it's fun. Okay, so Carolyn's the 6th. So we've got the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th now, and January 30th. So we're having some fun here. So there we go. Yeah, Stephen's gone down to Australia on the 26th of March.
oh,
So him and Walter, I think he's taken Walter with him. Um, I think Walter does most of the travel planning, if I remember correctly. So you better take Walter with him. Although if he needs a guide, he knows where one is. I do need to travel at least premium economy because I can't sit in those cramped seats with like this much leg room because I'm 6'5". Business class would be appreciated, but I understand that might be a little outside of the budget there. So
hey,
I'll meet you in Toronto if need.
you got Melissa joined
Yes.
Friends of Jack as well.
Thank you okay. How much is the membership? It is 199 USD per month. So I just try to make it affordable. It's not required. Basically what it gives you, it's just if you want to support the channel financially, it's not required. It's not, I don't plan on doing any special videos or anything else like that because I want to try and keep my content free and accessible to everybody. But if you choose to do that, you can. As well, and it's always very, very much appreciated because it helps with projects and that sort of thing there as well. But please do not ever feel like you're obligated to or anything else like that. It's just there as an option if you want to. So hopefully that makes sense. So there we go. Good morning. Sylvia is here with us. Good morning. She says her coffee is made. That is a good thing. So there we go. She's Oh, very nice. They even got bulkhead seats, which if you haven't flown a lot, bulkhead seats are the ones where there's like no row in front of you. It's like, in like the aisle or something like that. I actually have a cool story to tell, and I may have told it before, but you'll get it again. Um, I asked for bulk, like the first time I took Amanda to Sydney, we checked in San Francisco and I asked the lady at the check-in counter, I said, do you have any bulkhead seating available? Because I'd selected seats in the back because it's only like two across. And, she looked up in the computer and she said, I'm sorry, they're all occupied. And I was like, okay, no problem. And she looked at me kind of funny, like, and I was like, is there something wrong? And she said, you're not yelling at me. I'm like, what? Like,
I
she's
mean,
like,
that's not funny, but that's sad.
it's and that's what I thought. I thought it was really, really sad. I was like, ma'am, I just asked if you had it open. I figured the answer was no, but I figured there was no harm in asking. She's like, well, thank you so much. Thank you for not yelling at me. It's like, okay. And she started scribbling on a piece of paper. I was like, okay, what is she doing now? Um, and she ended up giving us club passes to go to the airline lounge and hang out because I didn't yell at her. And I was like, that is the sweetest thing. Like, and that's my tip to you. If you ever fly through San Francisco International, be nice to the ticket agents, be nice to the check-in agents because they will give you everything. Because I think those poor people get screamed at all the time. Because there was another time we went down there, we checked in. We ended up flying across the country on Southwest and then over to Sydney on United because we had what was it, those miles, we cashed in miles, but I couldn't get tickets into San Francisco. So I just told him, I said, look, book me from San Fran to Sydney and back. I'll get my own way over there. So we ended up getting there like 7 hours early because it was either 7 hours or 2 hours, and I did not want to miss that flight because my sister's wedding was 2 days after. Um, and so we got to the check-in counter and they originally told us, well, you can't check in until like 4 hours before. I'm like, no, I don't care. So we went over 4 hours before and they just finished processing the canceled flight to Tokyo. There was a lot of mean people there that day. And when we're checking in, they were having issues with the computer. And I'm like, look, I got 4 hours. I don't care. Like, take your time, get the computer fixed, and we'll get checked in. And we're just sitting there chatting to the people and having a good time and having a laugh. And at that time, they were still charging $100 a bag for the second bag. And I said, okay, how much are you for the bag? And they're like, oh, don't worry about it. So, we got free baggage because we were nice to the people there. So if you ever go through that airport, be nice to your people there. They will take very, very good care of you.
Oh yeah, it really please just, take that minute and just realize that they're doing their job the best they can and just be kind.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And I think, I've heard this before too. And, they say a lot of times a good judge of character is how you react to people that are serving you. Like, and I've worked customer service pretty much my whole career. And some people are really nice and some people are absolute meanieheads. And yeah, the people that are nice to me, I'll go out of my way to help them out. Like if they need something that's outside of our normal procedures, I'll help them out. I'll bend some rules for them. But if you're mean to me, you might have got one over me that day, but the next time you come looking for a favor, sorry, can't help you. You're gonna have to do it by the book. So there you go. Well, welcome Nikki and welcome Renee to the Friends of Jack. Thank you so much. It is very, very much appreciated. Leanna says she has to go. Her son came in for a birthday surprise. I have to go. Have a fabulous uncle. Thank you so much for joining us, Leanna. It's always good. But family always comes first as well. So there we go. All right. So um I'm almost done with these first two poppies, which is really, really nice.
Nice.
So I didn't think I'd get all five done, but you know, the fact that I got two done, because some of these are facing left and some are facing right. So I'm trying to make sure that I'm doing this correctly. So I don't have five or one or three together. Because that would be bad. So all right. Sylvia says I think I'm gonna match the fabric my weaknesses with my trial block kit. I like trying a block or two, then drop. I'll make my own sample. But yeah, I always like testing out a block or two before I go for a lot of things, before going too far. Because if I make a mistake on the first one, I don't want to have all this fabric I can't use. That makes sense. So, Kay's the head of the Walter fan club. Okay. Debbie was in Australia last year, last row in economy, only 2 seats wide, the best seats. No one behind us. Yes, absolutely. On most of the big airplanes, because the tail tapers in, you can, instead of being 3-4-3, it's 2-4-2. My only issue with that now, and I used to do it all the time, is I've developed motion sickness, wicked motion sickness, and
Oh, really?
I can't sit in the back because apparently what happens when you fly, with the turbulence and that sort of thing there, or even this natural thing, the plane will fishtail like a fish, like going through the sea. And so if you're sitting in the back, you might not notice it, but you'll actually get that sideways movement as well as a forward momentum. So if you're prone to motion sickness, you really, really need to sit over the wing, which is what we tend to do now. And now I get the extra leg room in premium economy anyway. Um, and they tend to be over the wing anyway. So I've enjoyed my time in the back, but I can't do it anymore, unfortunately. So, all right. So, Sylvia Martinez says short legs are a bonus sometimes. Absolutely, especially on those long haul flights. I remember one time I was flying over the ocean and I saw this lady across the road from me. She must have been like 5'1", and she's like curled up in this 2 seats next to me. And I was like, good for you. And I am so jealous.
Yeah.
And that one won out. So yes, having short legs is definitely a good thing when you're flying internationally, unless you have like the tens of thousands of dollars that people want for a business class ticket. So I'm going to need to have a whole lot more viewers and that sort of thing there before my YouTube budget allows for that. So get back down there one day. I should send Stephen and Walter a shopping list for stuff to buy for me before they come back. Yes, so there we go. All right, so we have got two poppies done. This is the first one. And then the second one's obviously, it's exactly the same.
That fabric is so pretty.
It is, yeah. It's the Kona Sheen. I didn't even know it existed until this pattern actually called for it. And I was like, oh, I'm going to have a fun time trying to find this. Because my local quilt shop carries the full Kona cotton range. And so I went there to buy that, and I was like, well, I guess I'll have to go order the Sheen online. But when I was looking at the Kona, I walked around the corner and they had a whole end cap full of the whole line of the Sheen as well. So
Right.
I was super excited, like, to get this. And then the lady was really excited too when she went to cut it. She's like, what are you using it for? And I told her, she's like, I don't think I've ever seen anyone use this stuff. So but yeah, it's been really, really nice. I've used it extensively through this project, and then I've actually used it a little bit in the Alice in Wonderland one as well, because the blush that they on the faces of the different people, they've used one of the tulip, it's all tulip pink stuff, but I didn't like it as much because it had a lot, like it had dots in it, and to me it was like almost like someone had measles. So I was like, I'm just going to use the Kona Sheen because it works so well in the Wizard of Oz, and I thought it'd be fun to just use it that way as well. So I don't think I have that close enough for me to use to show, unfortunately. Because I had the Mad Hatter, but did the Mad Hatter use it? Hang on, let's take a look. This is me getting. Oh, yeah, I tell a lie. He's here. You can see the pink, the cheeks,
Oh yeah.
and so.
Those blocks are so creative. They
Oh,
do.
this has been such a fun project. I've enjoyed every minute of it. It does challenge you. It's not. I would not call this beginner friendly, um, but it's been such a fun project. I have um, block 4 cut out, which is the dormouse. I haven't had a chance to sew that yet, um, but it's been such a fun project. So
Theirs are all pieced though, right? It's not foundation paper piecing or anything.
it's all traditional piece. It's all stitch and flip. So it's been a lot of fun. And I've actually done, I've got to edit that video, but I do time lapses of each of these blocks going together. I asked Matt over at Art East first for his permission because, it's his pattern and I always like to ask.
Yeah.
And he just told me, hey, yeah, go have fun with it. Just don't give away you know,
Measurements.
the
Yeah.
measurements. That was his only restriction. So, which I thought was very nice of him. But I just knew that way I didn't have any issues as well. And it's always nice to ask. Matt and John are just the nicest people. I love them both dearly. So, but I thought it'd be a fun way to show people, hey, this is how it goes together. Because I get that question: is this traditionally pieced or is it foundation paper pieced? A lot. Um, I do know how to foundation paper piece, but it's not my go-to. I um I would like to do some more foundation paper piecing this year, but I think I'm going to probably stick to the Allison Glass trinkets, which is just the smallish blocks, if I remember correctly. Yeah, they are. Do I have some nearby? I did at one point. No, they've wandered off. But you'll see that throughout the year as well. So, all right, such a cute piece. Yes, he is. Yeah, Kay's saying that he's doing the sampler quilt right now. John's so good at giving instructions and tips, and that's so true. I thought about doing the sampler. I think I'm going to sit that one out just because I have um, so many projects going on at once, and I'm really trying to finish up some stuff before I start something new.
Yeah.
But it's
So
yeah.
hard saying no to stuff that looks so fun.
So far, it's the 13th, and I have not started the new project yet. Like it's amazing. So, go me. But yeah, he does a really good job at doing instructions. He'll do like he does instructional videos for each of the blocks for the Wizard of Oz and also the Alice in Wonderland. Because like once you sign up for the sew-alongs, you get invited to like it's an online portal, and you go on it like you can download the patterns. You have a show and tell. And then he does the instructional videos and that sort of thing there. So if you need help, there's questions and answers. It's a nice thing. Kay says there's dachshunds on it. I know. I really, really thought about it. And I may decide in 3 months, hey, yeah, okay, I've freed myself up enough that I can jump in and do this. I've really sat down and thought about it and I was like, no, I really can't commit to myself to do another project. I have got a project that has a deadline that I haven't started yet that I need to, but I need to get to a copy shop first. Because it's going to be a nice applique project. Um, so yeah, I really do need to just finish up some stuff first. All right, so Kathy is asking Fallon, what is the ruler template that you're using? I need one.
To trim. So me and my husband actually make them. They're trim locks. They're on our site, but just keep in mind that it only trims that one size really. So
Yeah.
we have them on there in a variety of sizes, but yes, they make trimming half square triangles and hourglass blocks really, really easy.
I know I haven't bought one yet, and um, I
I'll
would
have to
like
send
to.
you one to try out. I can do that.
Yeah, yeah, because that's the thing I struggle with too. Because like with these the projects I do, like everything's such different sizes. It's like one and a
Yeah,
half by two, one and a half by one and a half, one by I'd need to buy like you'd have to make so many different
yeah.
special ones for me. So
It's hard.
um
It's hard because that's what I tell people is like they are amazing, but I try like I'm me and my husband both say we're not good salespeople. We're like, look, they're great, but you're gonna have to have a lot of sizes.
yeah, I know that's fun. Um Okay, Janice says I'm going to complete the legit kits block of the month, but I think that might be it for me with FPP. Donnell says she has to run. Well, thank you so much. If you haven't checked out
I
Donnell's
don't know.
channel, it is Donnell. I'll put it in real quick. She normally has a live at 10 or 11 a.m. Eastern, but I think she's going to the vet this morning. But yeah, definitely check out her channel as well. And then Jamie is here as well, from the Quilting Compound. She was here with me a few months ago, and she's a lot of fun as well. Okay, let's see. Irish Sale 81 says, Good morning, Sean and Fallon. I overslept because it was a long, busy week at work, but I'm having coffee and should be okay. Hey, sometimes it's good to sleep in, I slept in once when I had a live with Becca and Ian. I was supposed to be on at 8. I got up at 8:06. So, it happens to us all. So there we go. All right, let's see if I can get a little bit more done before we have to run away
I
and go
finally
rest
got
my
everything prepped for 4 blocks. It's a lot of quarter square triangles and then the little corner piece, but 4 blocks will get together really quick now.
Yeah, not for sure. Sorry, I just got distracted there. Kathy says, find the right ruler template is a game changer. Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you totally on that. So, okay, so got that done. Jamie says she had a great time too. That's awesome. We need to have Jamie back at some point. I have quite a few really neat guests coming up. I have people booked, I think, through beginning of March already. And so we have some new ones coming up really, really soon. And it's gonna be fun. So you'll have to keep an eye out who's coming up. I will not be here the weekend of QuiltCon, obviously, because I'll be down hanging out with all my buddies down now. But other than that, I should be here pretty much every week, I think. Okay. Captain Stitcher says trying to cut fabrics and watch at the same time. Well, mine keeps getting confused too early for multitasking. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I have trouble with that too. Like um I'll sometimes watch lives while I'm cutting fabric and half to hang on, I almost messed this up. Um and I have trouble listening and cutting fabric at the same time too. So sometimes I have to turn it off and um just focus on cutting. So especially since like everything I do is like all different sizes. Like if I was just cutting, 192 half square triangles, would be a little different. Okay. Make sure I'm doing this right. Yes. Yeah, talking about like rulers and templates that are a game changer for me, because of all the stitch and flip I do. I think this one's been
Oh,
like the biggest. Yeah, the what's it called? Creative Grids Folder Corner Clipper. Um, I saw my buddy, now I can't remember his name, Kendall, um, Kendall Taylor, if I remember the name correctly, bloke from Australia, kind of Melbourne, and he was using it one day. He's one of the ambassadors for Pat Sloan, and he was using on one of his videos, and I saw that. I was like, oh, that'd be perfect for me. So I ran out and bought one, and I've loved it. I would never, if this thing broke or Finley got a hold of and chewed it, I would go out and buy another one. I Yeah, absolutely love this thing. All
that
right.
that'd be fun to know what everyone in the chat's like ruler that if it broke, they would have to replace it, like your
Yeah,
favorite ruler you have.
that's a great question. Yeah, for me, it's this one. And then the other one, if it broke, I'd run out and buy another one, is this. I love this thing. This is the
I've really grown to love it for trimming because I never get to this point, but I think you said too, trimming around the outside of after you quilt it to get
uh,
everything.
yeah, that's one of my favorite things about this. Yeah. If you didn't say it, I was going to. Yeah, this yeah, for trimming the quilts afterwards when you're getting ready to bind. There's no better to me, there's no better product on the market, or if there is, I haven't found it yet. So and I'm not just saying that because you're here. Um, I would say that to anybody. I yeah, absolutely love that thing. So and I use it for my yardage too. Like it's nice, it just doesn't move.
I think mine is probably like, I mean, I love ours, of course, but I love the like a 6.5 by 24 inch, those rulers, because I use it for everything, because I use it with the slide lock to cut my pieces, and it's just such a good size to be able to cut anything you need with it.
Yeah, see, I don't put. I'm naughty, and people are going to probably shake their finger at me in a moment. But this one doesn't have markings on it, but I don't use a ruler up against it. I just use the
That
markings on the mat, and it's worked out. I have not had the first problem with it yet. So
See, I do that a lot sometimes too, especially if it's like binding and I'm cutting 2.5 over and over. I figure if it's off, it's all going to work out in the end for binding, especially anyway.
yeah, well, see, most of my stuff is so precise, like because I use it for cutting out strips for this. And it's worked out. I have not had the first problem with it yet. I know I'm running a risk and I'm okay with that, but yeah, I've been doing it now for months and it's worked out just fine. So there we go. Jean says on my hand, pre-made strips and squares are the size of Fallon's rulers to make it so easy. There we go. Randy Bishop says, hi everyone, good morning. My sewing plans are to clean my sewing room. Well, that sounds like fun. It's never a fun task to do, but you always feel so um, satisfied and proud of yourself as well once you are done. Brenda says she loves a 14-inch glide lock. I guess she meant slide lock, but maybe that's glide lock too. And Stripology extra large. I couldn't imagine sewing that. I've heard a lot of good things about this Stripology. I know Beth over at Goody Goods loves that thing, but I have not gotten around to buying one yet. Maybe one day as well. So
I keep adding it to my cart because I hear people talking about it and I want to at least try it because, people will ask me about it and I'm like, I can't give a review because I've never tried it, but I've added it so many times and then I always back out.
uh, maybe I should ask my mother-in-law for one for my birthday. She's always asking, what do you want for your birthday? And I told her I don't want anything, and she doesn't like that answer. So there you
More time in the day to get things done.
yeah, the stuff I want, you can't provide. So there you go. Don't worry. Yeah, type. I type it all day long. I was typing a message to someone the other day, and I was like, "Good gravy!" Like I feel like I'm somebody who's drunk because it looked like every other word was spelt wrong because my fat fingers can't type very well on the phone. So yeah, that's a good question too. There. What size rulers you go to? Like for me. I think it'd be my 6.5-inch square, and then my 6.5 by 12.5 is probably my two go-tos for cutting out pieces. Um, yeah, once I've cut the strips. Okay, Debbie says, sorry, I've been listening while I make a pot of soup and sweep my floors. I love that people have us in the background. I think it's really, really neat. So, um, I do that a lot too sometimes. Like I might not be always in the chat, but I like to listen to everybody as well. Um, yes, Stephen says I love Fallon's slide locks as well. He got two as a gift. It took about 6 months to get to me. Not Fallon's fault. It was basically accommodative errors. Yes. So that is a good story. That's one of my viewers reached out to me because they heard that Stephen was interested in getting the slide locks, and she's like, "Hey, I have two of these that I bought, I think from the previous owners, the previous people that had before you
Oh,
guys,
yeah, yeah. Mhm.
and she never used them. She's like, I'd love to gift these to Stephen. And at that point, we were actually planning on going up to see Stephen and Walter with Stephanie. And I said, okay, we'll ship them over to me. I'll just take it to him in person. You know, that way you have to ship it over to Canada. And so she sent it over to me. And then the trip that I was going to take up to Pennsylvania and then to Canada kind of fizzled out. It didn't end up happening. So I shipped it to Stephen, but I guess I wrote the wrong address on it or something. And
Oh,
so
no.
it finally came back. And so I was like, oh, dang, I don't want to go through all that expense again. And I heard that Stephen and Walter were going down to Stephanie's retreat. So I reached out to Stephanie and said, hey, if I mail these things to you, can you take them down and give them to Stephen? She's like, sure, no problem. So that's what happened. I shipped them up to Steph. She took them down to Georgia for the retreat, and Stephen now has those rulers. So I'm sorry it took so long to get to you, but I'm really glad that you have them, and I enjoy them. I really enjoy them too. Okay, so
And see,
everyone's
I was
saying,
thinking it was the mail system because I'm sure everyone has had that package that you order and you watch it on the tracking where it's almost to you, and then for some reason it ends up really far away and just goes on a journey.
well, that was a funny thing with one of my wife's Christmas presents. Like I bought it on Etsy and it said it was in the seller was in Virginia, and the seller was probably like 8 miles away from me, and I didn't realize it until after she shipped it. I was like, I could have picked it up on the way home from work. But it went from here to Richmond, which is like 2 hours up the road, which is where they process everything. Like, and then so it usually goes to Richmond, then comes back to us. Well, it went to Richmond, then it went to Newark. I guess Newark and Norfolk, I guess, if you're not reading properly,
Right.
I guess they can get it confused. So yeah, what should have taken 2 days took like 8. But it got there before Christmas, so that's really all that matters at the end of the day. So there we go. Joy says she ordered Fallon small square trio with the handles on. I'm just waiting for them to arrive. Um,
Thank you.
everyone's a lot of people are saying they like the stripology. So yeah, I might have to ask for um one of those for my birthday or something.
I mean, it looked like Steven raved about him too, so I'm
Yeah,
guessing.
there was several people here saying so. Um, yeah, that might be something I have to look into. And I have the little small rotary cutter that I use, so it'll work out quite well for those.
We had to
Yeah.
smuggle it over the border. We had the hardest time with getting the custom stuff right on those. And we ended up just shutting down international shipping because we kept getting them mad with all of that. So it
Did you
was
use like pirate ship or something like that? Because I found that their customs form was pretty easy to fill out.
we use what's embedded in
Uh,
Shopify.
okay.
I don't think it was really with them. I think it's just that I guess our shop wasn't making it clear that there could be additional fees based on where they are and all that
Oh,
stuff.
okay.
It was just a mess.
Yeah. Yeah. Dealing with customs is not the most friendly thing sometimes. And
Shipping's just
that's
insane right now anyway. I mean, it's such a high cost.
yeah. So there you go. All right. So let's see. It's 9:23. So I think we'll go ahead and start our Southern goodbye. Um, do you want to let us know real quick? Do you have anything going on in your channel that you'd like to promote or tell us about that might be coming up in the next week or two or month or yeah, whenever?
So we started back on our Wednesday evening live. So that's 7 Central. It's me and my husband on. We just I've been picking one of my unfinished projects to work on, and we just sit and chat, and it's a fun time. So that's the main thing that's hopefully going to be regular on the channel. And then coming up, I plan to at the end of each month or the beginning of the next month, however it works out, is show what I got finished. Because if you didn't see the video on my channel where I reveal how many unfinished projects I have 74. So my goal this year is to work on finishing those up and kind of do slower projects throughout the year, ones that take a little bit longer so I can focus on getting stuff done and just enjoy the sewing process more.
Awesome. So are you doing like a little podcast once a month, like showing
I
what
think it'll be kind of like that style. Yeah,
that'd be fun. I
just
look
showing
forward to that.
what I got finished.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so yeah, definitely check out Fallon's channel if you haven't done so already. I put it in the um chat as well. So Chloe says I need the new small one. Is that for the stripology or for the what one of Fallon's? Can you specify for me real quick? Jean says, great getting to catch you live for a change. Everyone be safe and happy stitching. Yeah, and if you haven't checked out Jean's channel, I'm pretty sure I have her. Um, let's see if it works real quick. If not, I'll go grab it. But no, okay. We'll go grab it real quick. Hang on. Um, yeah, if you haven't checked out her channel, please do so. For me, I should have something to show tomorrow. At least I'm hoping so. Let me just throw jeans. There we go. Okay, yeah, so for me, I'm sorry. I keep getting distracted. And my voice, I think, made it through. So, yeah, podcast tomorrow. And then we'll release the 4S collab, which I'm doing with Stephen, Russ, and Stephanie, where we get to showcase our completed quilts that we did. So that'll be a lot of fun to be able to showcase the completed quilt. I finished mine last night at 9:30. So, right down to the wire, but we'll release those on each of our channels. So you'll get to see that on Monday. And then I hope to get out another episode of the investigating quilts. I'll get it right in a minute. I'm probably going to put that on Tuesday because I don't like putting out 2 videos in 1 month. Not 1 month, one day if I can avoid it. So we'll have some fun with that. But that's me in a nutshell. But unless we have anything else, stripology. Okay, perfect. Thank you to Chloe for clarifying. So April Sortel says, have a good weekend. I'll throw her chat link in real quick. Good morning, Jenny. You caught us just at the end, but you can always head back and watch the replay if you want. And if you haven't done so already, hit that like button if you enjoyed today's content, because it does always help us out immensely. You can only subscribe once, but you can like each and every video, and it does help us out immensely. So there we go. Have a great weekend, everyone. Thank you. It was great spending time with you all. And this is what Debbie's telling us, that she was able to finish in the hand sewing. So that's also, and that's something else I want to learn this year, is how to hand sew, because every year I am told I'm supposed to hand stitch the corners on the back of my quilts, and every year I don't, and they keep writing it down on my report. So this year I need to learn. I tried gluing. Someone suggested glue it down. They won't know the difference. This judge does. So yeah, hey, I figured I'd give it a. My friend Nancy's here with us. She says I'm always late. Hey, you were out celebrating your wedding anniversary last night, so you had a good excuse. Debbie says, take care, goodbye. Okay, and with that, we'll go ahead and say goodbye to everybody. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me this morning, bearing with me as I got distracted and tried to retain what little voice I had left. I hope you all have a great day. Happy sewing. Stay safe. Stay warm, because I know it's cold out there for a lot of you. And we'll see you all tomorrow over on my channel. And definitely go over and hang out with Fallon. She has a lot of great content. So I hope you all have a great day, and we'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye.